Okay, I'm here. I'm live. Woohoo! Hi. Hi there. Welcome to the live. Running a little bit late today. It's been so incredibly crazy hot. So that's why I've been running late. It's like 90 degrees and my apartment gets very, very hot. Even with the air conditioning running, it's just really, really hot in here. And I'm not exactly used to it being that hot because when I was in LA, I was on like the first level. So my apartment stayed really, really cool with the air conditioning. And because I'm higher up, heat rises. So everything is just really hot in here. So I have this little portable like personal air conditioner thing I'm going to try using while I'm live. Hopefully it's not like too loud. I don't know if you guys hear it or not, but that's like full blast. Maybe I'll try to keep it low so it's not like too crazy. But it's just like really hot. Hi Rachel. I see you. Obviously you are up first considering Friday did not go as planned. Life is crazy. And I have a frozen hot chocolate as well because it is so hot. I'm so done with summer. You're on the third floor and your air isn't working. Oh my gosh. My air is working. I'm on the second floor. It's just 2 floors here. Yeah, like it's working, but the ventilation system is weird. Like the best air conditioning is in the living room, and then they have like this weird, like that bench thing that's over there. Like that's part of like the ventilation system. That's why it's there, because there's like cold air and stuff that comes in through there, which is really weird, but that's how they do it. But it's like the strongest in the living room, and the more it goes like further in that direction, like going back towards my bedroom, like the less efficient it is. It's the best way I can describe it. It's really annoying. My bathroom is honestly probably the worst because there's no ventilation in there. They have a fan for when I shower, but I still bring like a little handheld fan in there just because I'm like, I need full blast air. Oh, it's so frustrating. So it was like one of those days where I would shower, I would get out of the shower, I would dry my hair, and I would feel like I'd be sweating as I would be drying my hair. It was just disgusting. Anyway, Rachel, let's see what's going on for you with your general reading, your general question here. Let's see what's going on. Oh, it does feel better having that personal little air conditioner here. Oh, that helps. Thank God. Okay. Anyways, let's see what we got here for you. So we have the Page of Swords. So the Page of Swords is someone who, is thinking about speaking their truth. Someone who is thinking about sharing, some kind of truth with you, something that they want to say. There's some kind of belief, some kind of truth, some kind of something that they want to express to you, that they would like to talk to you about. But because they're a page and they're not a knight, they're not like in the motion to actually get going to do that. They're just thinking about it. They're just in the thinking process of it. So that's the first thing that is coming out. So it seems like someone wants to share a truth with you. Let's see what else we get here. Cards are wanting to fall now all over the place. Probably just because it's so hot. The cards are like, we're over it. It's too hot. And then I got all jealous today because in LA, I guess it's like 72 and rainy. And I'm like, I should be there right now. It'd be so much nicer, so much cooler. It's hot and humid here. Blech. But let's see what else we got here with this Page of Swords. We also have the Ace of Cups. So it seems like what they are most likely wanting to express to you in form of a truth is probably the fact that they want to have a new beginning. And I know this has been coming out for you lately a lot, like the past couple of weeks, but it's still apparently a theme. Still seems to be a theme here. I think we both know what direction this is probably going in. But yeah, the Ace of Cups is a new beginning in love. The cups usually represent our emotions and that kind of thing. And I know, once again, this is just supposed to be your general read, and we're not even at the love reading yet, but it is what it is. What's coming out is coming out. And it seems like somebody is thinking of coming your way, sharing their truth, that they would like to have a new beginning in love with you, that they have a cup of love they would like to offer, that they have some emotions that they need to express. So this is not going away yet. It's still very much there. Hi, Juan. Yes, I do paid readings only. So I just got on, I just got started. So if you're interested in getting a reading, everything that you need to know about how I go about that is in the description box. So since I don't have super chats, I do have PayPal and I do have Venmo, so you can submit a payment to either one of those with the options that are provided there. We also have the Devil. So the Devil is about karma. It can be a lot of different things. It can be anything that's toxic. It can be, bad behaviors. It can be addictions. It can be a lot of different nasty things, basically. But I feel like this person probably wants to express their emotions, maybe because there is some unresolved karma between the two of you. And, I know that the X factor is definitely a thing that comes up for you a lot here. So it could be that there is some kind of unfinished business between the two of you, that there may be some kind of soul contract of some sort that you guys need to sort out, that, that there's just unfinished business. And it may even be like, it may not even necessarily be maybe you two getting back together, but it could even just be like, maybe there's a conversation that needs to happen. Maybe something needs to be said so both of you can move forward in the next chapter of your lives, whether that means coming back together or, going your separate directions. But it seems like there's some kind of karma there. There's something there that needs to be worked out. So I feel like the emotions are tied to that with what needs to be expressed. Yeah, the X, he does seem to be coming up a lot. So considering he comes up like every single time, whether it's a general reading or a love reading for you, I feel like you are on his mind a lot lately, that you have been like a huge thing on his mind. We also have the Knight of Pentacles. So I feel like this is what he's trying to be. Like, this is what he probably wants to be. He wants to be that Knight of Pentacles. He's not quite a king, but the Knight of Pentacles, he does finish the race. He's slow. He's the slowest mover in the entire deck, but he is solid. He is stable. Pentacles is that earthly, grounded kind of energy. So I feel like he does want to come to you in a grounded way. He does want to come to you in a grounded demeanor, which is probably another reason why he is just thinking about this right now and he hasn't actually like taken the action to do so, because he is being so slow about it as of the time being. But that's a good thing, because that means he's thinking things through. He's not just like jumping in haphazardly. He probably wants to approach this the right way, especially if, once again, there is karma here that needs to be cleared up. So it seems like he wants to come from a grounded place. That's a good thing. That's kind of funny, since I haven't heard much of nothing. Well, yeah, it doesn't surprise me that you haven't heard anything, because he's just thinking about it. He's not really in the mode of coming forward. And, any forward motion that does seem to be coming is slow because of the pentacle energy there. But you are definitely weighing heavily on his mind. Like, nothing has to be happening on the surface. Nothing has to be happening in the physical for there to be thoughts happening in his head. That can be happening regardless. Juan, you donated for a Venti reading. Okay, fantastic. I will get you in after Rachel. Rachel has 2 questions, so we're on her first one right now. We have the 6 of Swords coming out. So the 6 of Swords is basically like going on a journey, together. Like this is a journey. And this is why I'm saying there may be unfinished business, because there may be some kind of journey still that the 2 of you are supposed to take. I mean, it's kind of like this may be you and him sitting here in the boat. And this could be something divinely guided, surprisingly, that you may not even be aware of. Because I always consider that 3rd unicorn back there to basically be God, to basically be the one kind of leading and guiding things, going across this, huge body of water, whatever that is. So yeah, it seems like there's some unfinished business. Let me give one more tarot card for you, and then I'll pull some oracle cards on this. And you donated through PayPal. Awesome. I will check that after I'm done with Rachel's. And we have the 10 of Swords, interestingly. So the 10 of Swords can be a painful ending. And I'm not saying that this is going to be like, I don't feel like this is going to be a painful ending, just because, like, I feel like the karma here is supposed to be resolved, whatever it is that's going on. Like I said, even if you guys don't wind up back together, it could be just the fact that there may be some conversations that need to be said, some things that need to be said to one another, and that may be what needs to close. I feel like maybe if the conversation doesn't happen, maybe if working out this karma doesn't work itself out, it could be more painful for both of you in the long run, simply because you'll kind of have like this thing hanging over your heads, in a sense, not necessarily making either one of you to move forward in a good way for either one of you. You believe he is your twin, but you've had some doubts. Honestly, I'll be honest with you. It is kind of that twin flamey energy where it's just like, oh, there's this really amazing connection, this really amazing, thing that you can't necessarily get rid of. You're on a journey. They always have a way of coming back. It can be very painful being on that journey. There's always karma that needs to be worked out, but they always want to come back, and they always want to offer love. So, I do feel like it is kind of that vibe. I never like to tell people one way or another, just because I think everybody's journey with that is unique and individual to them. And, that's a very important connection. It's not my place to say whether or not somebody is your twin. Like, that's something that only you can figure out. But just picking up the energy here and looking at the story and the cards and everything, it is kind of that vibe. But let me get some cards for you with this in general. What shall I go with? Well, we kind of seem to be in our feels, so I think I'm going to grab some Ocean of Emotion on this. And then we'll see what comes through on love. But I have a feeling we're just going to get kind of part 2 on what we're already dealing with here. But that's okay. Maybe we'll get some more insight and elaboration on it. But let's see what we got here. What else do we need to know with this situation? What else do we need to know? Ocean of Emotion is always good for that kind of stuff, so we can tap in to their emotions. So we have anxious. I can't sleep, I don't eat, and I have no sense of inner peace. So I feel like this is basically where he's at right now. This is pretty much what he's feeling. He's probably feeling a lot of anxiety because, once again, he wants to present this cup of love. He wants to come forward. He wants to talk to you. He wants to work things out. But because things have already gone down with you guys in a certain way in the past, naturally that creates a lot of anxiety. He's like, I don't know if I can do that. I don't know how she's going to react. I don't know if this is going to go well. I don't know if it's worth it. So that's the kind of stuff that probably keeps him held back. That's the kind of stuff to him that keeps him in pain. So yeah. He's definitely very anxious. And especially for you, like if you've tried getting out there and you're trying to see other people and nothing's really coming about with that, this is probably just another reason why. Especially if he's your twin. It's kind of hard to shake that. We also have despise. I'm full of hate. So I don't feel like the person that he hates here is you, but I do feel like he hates himself. Once again, for the things that have gone down between the two of you in the past, I feel like he's not happy with himself. He's disappointed in himself. He recognizes where he was wrong, basically, and he hates himself for it, which, of course, creates more of that anxiety. Let's see what else we get. Deceive. I've been lying to myself and you. So yeah, I think that's just another reason why he is kind of hating on himself right now, because in a sense, he's probably tried to pass it off to you like, I don't need you. I'm okay. I'm cool. Like, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Like, he's probably been that way towards you in the past. And especially if he has kind of made it seem in the past like, he doesn't feel anything. He doesn't care. He's moved on, blah, 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 blah. That's just another reason why he's going to be anxious about coming back, because he has played it off like he doesn't care. And it wasn't just you he was lying to when he's been like that. He's been lying to himself too. He's like, no, it's fine. I don't need her. Like, I can move on. I can be with other girls. It doesn't matter. And it does matter to him. It does. He's probably not finding the fulfillment elsewhere that he had when he was with you. And we have illusions. I can see beyond the smoke and mirrors now. So, he obviously has been in a lot of illusion in the past, but I feel like one of the reasons why he's starting to get a little bit more curious about talking to you and working things out and presenting some kind of love offer to you is probably because he's starting to see beyond his own bullshit. Because it's really what it is at the end of the day. It's his own bullshit, and he's starting to see beyond that. So it's like the fog is starting to lift around him is what it comes down to. The fog is starting to lift. And we have, I'm just really busy working. So I feel like in the meantime, he's probably busy working. I don't know what he does for a living or anything, but he could literally physically be busy when it comes to work, when it comes to his job. Otherwise, I feel like it's probably in reference to him, like working on himself, like figuring himself out, figuring this out, which once again, I feel like would be another reason why he would be pretty slow at coming your way to say anything, because he wants to come to you with the right perspective, in the right way, in the right mind frame kind of a thing. Let me get one more for you, and then we'll see what's going on in love. Although, like I said, I think we already know what's going to be going on in love here. And we have open. I'm afraid of opening up my heart again. So that's another thing that's tripping him up, obviously, and making him really slow in coming your way is, he's probably scared of both of you repeating cycles that have already happened in the past. He's scared of, opening up. He's scared that things are just going to repeat, basically. So, and those are probably legitimate, understandable fears. They're probably fears that you have too, because you guys have been on this merry-go-round before. You don't necessarily want the ride to end the same way it's ended in the past. So I feel like that's probably something you both probably feel, which would bring anxiety on both ends. But let me see what I got here for love for you, Rachel. Even though, like I said, I feel like it's going to be more of the same. We kind of already know. Hi, Elizabeth. Welcome, welcome. You got a Venti on Venmo, and you would like to know what does the future hold for the connection for your DM, Milton. All right, sounds good. You will be after Juan, because Juan is up after Rachel, and I'm on Rachel's second question right now. Which, like I said, I feel like it's just going to be a continuation of the first one. But hey, it's like whatever's going to come out is going to come out when you ask for something general. And, if spirit wants to lead it to be love, it's going to be love. And that's apparently where it went. And now we're going to keep going there. All right, let's see what else we got here. We have the Emperor. So I feel like that's kind of probably confirmation to your suspicions. The Emperor, he's basically your divine counterpart is what it comes down to. Because if you're the Empress, he's the Emperor. Those two go together. They rule the world together, basically. So, he's your king, you're his queen, kind of a thing. So, he does have that ability in him. He does have that ability in him to be the Emperor, to have ownership of all the qualities of all those kings. He has that ability inside of him. And it seems like he's waking up to some of those abilities right now. And he's like, oh, maybe I do need to be a little bit more stand up. Maybe I do need to, step up a little bit here and change this and change that, because the way I'm being right now isn't exactly working very well. And we have the Eight of Swords. So the Eight of Swords is, kind of being in that mental prison, basically, where, like this unicorn on the card, he's got the blindfold on, he's got swords surrounding him, but, this really isn't keeping him locked down or anything. If he really wanted to just step out of those bandages and walk through those swords and free himself, he could. But he's choosing not to. It's a mental imprisonment. It's not like actual imprisonment. It's mental imprisonment. So I feel like this is kind of like where things have been so far between the two of you. There's probably been a little bit of this on both sides, because once again, if your ex is that twin flame, he's going to mirror these things to you. He's going to mirror what's going on inside of you. So, if you yourself have been feeling like, oh, kind of in this mental prison, either when it comes down to love in general, or when it comes down to him or anything dealing with that, he's probably feeling that way too. You guys have probably both seemed kind of, or felt kind of trapped in the situation, like, I don't know where this is going to go. I don't know how things are going to work out. Like, I'm just going to be stuck here, but you don't have to be. Oh, yeah, I still have my frozen hot chocolate. It's right here. I haven't drank very much of it. I kind of saved it for the live just because it's really hot. So, That is so good, though. So yeah, Dunkin' Donuts, just good old Dunkin' Donuts. If you have a Dunkin' Donuts near you, go get one. We also have the Nine of Pentacles. So I feel like this is probably how he sees you right now. He probably sees you in the Nine of Pentacles kind of energy, which is single, sexy, confident, someone who has their life together. When you have the Nine of Pentacles, you're basically just one pentacle away from the 10, which is that ultimate fulfillment. It's having everything. So I feel like he does look at you as somebody who has it all together, who knows what she's doing. So yeah, I feel like he does see you that way. So he sees you in a good light. He sees you positively. And if that's where you're at for yourself, stay in that energy, keep doing that. That's a positive energy to be in, because you can be perfectly happy and perfectly content on your own too, with or without him, with or without another person. That's still a positive energy to be in. We have the Seven of Pentacles, and the Seven of Pentacles is basically you reap what you sow. What you put out there is exactly what you're going to get back. So I feel like, right now is a time to just kind of work on what it is that you want for yourself when it comes to your love life. If you want him to come back, if you really do want this ex to return and for you guys to work things out, start putting out there, like in your mind frame, in your mindset, in your thoughts and your emotions, start putting out there what it is that you want, because that's exactly what you're going to get back. That's exactly what you're going to attract. And, that goes for any kind of love connection. It's like, if you're sitting there thinking, oh, I'm never going to find anybody and I'm so lonely, and like you're just singing this sob song, you're going to get more of that sob song coming back at you. But if you start like imagining what it would be like to fall asleep next to that person, curled up next to that person, if you kind of imagine in the morning as you're like getting ready for the day, what your morning routine may be like with that person. It doesn't mean that like they're actually physically there, you're actually acting out those things, but just get into that feeling, just get into that vibe. If you go out for some kind of meal or something like that, imagine what it's like having them sitting next to you in the car, kind of thing. So it's just like, start putting those things out there, because whatever it is that you put out is exactly what you're going to get back. So if you want love, if you want that, whether it's with him or somebody else, just start putting the feeling out there. Don't put the feeling out there of like being alone, kind of a thing. Hi, Jessica. Yes, I'm still taking readings. I've only been on for like a half an hour because I got on here a little bit late. So, yeah, I'm just on the second question right now. So I am still here. And thankfully, I already know the background situation of that dream. So that's helpful. And we have the Six of Pentacles. So the Six of Pentacles to me is all about even, give and take, basically. So, especially once again, if we're dealing with this ex and that whole situation, maybe there wasn't even give and take between you guys in the past. And that could be some of the karma here that needs to be cleared up. Maybe some of the karma is, both of you learning how to have that even exchange, where it's even, where it's not one person doing all the work and the other person just kind of hanging back like, la-di-da, I'm on holiday or whatever. So I feel like there is a lesson here when it comes to even, give and take. So I feel like that is definitely tied to some of that karma. Let me get one more tarot card here for you, and then we'll get some oracle cards. But yeah, I would definitely say God is doing a lot of talking to you when it comes to this ex. You can run, you can hide, but you can't escape that connection if it's meant to be there. And we have the Five of Swords, and the Five of Swords is about conflict, basically. So, once again, I feel like there has been a lot of conflict, obviously, here between the two of you, dealing with the past, probably more things karma related that does need to be worked out and panned out between you guys. Let's see. We already did Ocean of Emotion for you with the general reading. Let me see. Well, let me think here. Since you do feel that he is your twin flame, and this is kind of a love thing, I'm going to get some, if I can grab this deck, oh my gosh. I'm going to grab you some messages from the Divine Masculine just to see like what he has to say, because obviously he does have a lot of things that he wants to say. He's just not saying it right now because he has all that anxiety and stuff going on. He's not ready to come and express it physically yet in the 3D. So let's just kind of get into his headspace a little bit here and see what he is feeling, what he does have to say. So we have, I will never let you go. So he's an ex that's not going anywhere. He will never let you go. I love your body. So he still loves your body. You make me feel complete. which makes sense. I mean, especially in twin flame connections, like I believe that we are 100% whole as we are, on our own. I know there's the whole thing of like, oh, twin flames are two souls that have been separated. I think we're our own 100% full soul, but there is definitely that feeling, that vibe that goes with twin flames, like, they are kind of missing from you in a sense when you're not together. So I feel like he's definitely been feeling that over time. You are the one. So you are the one. You are the one who makes him feel complete. I see signs about you. So that probably explains, like I know the breaking out of illusions card came out in the other question. So I feel like if he's seeing signs, if he's getting reminders of you and stuff like that, that's probably some of the stuff that's helping him snap out of the illusions and is making him think this way, making him go in this direction. Kundalini is rising, which only emphasizes that. And the firework effect. So I always think of like the firework effect as like, like they're like fireworks are obviously beautiful. They're high in the sky and everything, and they just kind of come out of nowhere. It's like darkness and then boom, poof, light. And it's like that's how it is between you guys, basically. It's like your world could be dark, there could be nothing going on, and then boom, there he is. Boom, there you are to him, kind of a thing. Your love just kind of explodes like that. I desire you on every level. So yeah, he is definitely still desiring you. So yeah, I would say this X he's not going anywhere. There's definitely an important tie here. There's definitely an important connection. So, considering this has come up like every single time for the past couple of weeks, I would definitely just like continue exploring that, like spend some time in like your own prayer and meditation time just to, maybe get some clarity on that. So he's not going anywhere. So hopefully that helps, Rachel. All right, Juan, I know that you are next, and then Elizabeth, and then Jessica. All right, so let me just double check here what we got going on. I'm gonna have a sip of my, Face ID. I know, it's working. Have a sip of my frozen hot chocolate. I'm like, I almost forgot what I was drinking. Okay, Juan. You would like a general reading. Okay. Sounds good. Let's see what comes up in general for Juan. Let's see what we got here. And hopefully my little portable, we got one falling out already. My portable air conditioner here hopefully isn't too loud. We have the Page of Wands. So the Page of Wands is someone who basically wants a fiery, passionate new start in something, a passionate, fiery new beginning. So it could be you, it could be somebody else around you, but somebody here definitely wants a passionate, fiery start. Could be in love. It could be in like a career. I'm going to keep pulling cards so we can get a little bit more clarity on what this passionate beginning is about, what this passionate start is about, who it's connected to. So we have the Magician, and the Magician is basically all about manifesting the life of your dreams, like manifesting Yeah, manifesting the life of your dreams. So the magician here, he basically holds all the tools at his disposal in order to make his dreams come true. We have the swords, we have the wands, we have the pentacles, we have the cups. We've got all the ingredients here to basically create whatever kind of life you want to live. So it could be that there could be this fiery and passionate new drive and new start to want to create something new, to want to create like whatever it is that you want to create in your life. And, that's kind of up to you. Like you're in the driver's seat with that. It could be like a new career direction. It could be a new relationship. It could be a whole bunch of different things. But the point is, the power is within you. The power is within you to create that. And it seems like there's passion there in order to, put the gas, the pedal, and make that happen. You're very welcome, Rachel. No problem at all. We'll see what comes through next time, although I'm sure it'll still be about him. But hopefully he's moving a little bit, a little bit further down the road there to making some kind of progress. Okay, and we have the star energy here. So the star, I always look at this card as like someone who has the it factor is what it comes down to. Because stars are like high in the sky, they're gorgeous, they're pretty, they can seem out of reach because they're, so far away and they're so gorgeous. But I always think of like, the star, if you were to bring it a little bit more down to earth, more so than just, being up in outer space, it's like looking at like a celebrity or something like that, like putting someone on a pedestal, like, oh my gosh, they're amazing. It's like when you're watching a musical number, for example, and you see a whole ensemble of people singing and dancing. Our eyes naturally are usually probably drawn to just like a couple of people in that entire group. It's normally not the whole group that our eyes are drawn to. And whoever it is our eyes are drawn to is naturally that it factor. It may not be that they're necessarily any more talented than anybody else. It's just that they have that it factor. So I feel like in the case of you here, you could be rising up in your own star energy here to have that it factor, basically, with this passionate new beginning to create the life of your dreams. Like I said, you have this really awesome opportunity. You have this star energy about you to do that. And people will take notice. People will take notice because you do have that it factor, as like all the cards go everywhere. The cards are like, yes, one has that it factor for sure. Let's see what else we got here. No problem, Rachel. It was good to see you. Keep sparkling too. And we have the 10 of Pentacles. The 10 of Pentacles is ultimate fulfillment, basically. Happily ever after, like having all of your dreams come true. So like I said, here with that Magician card, you have the opportunity here to make all of your dreams come true, is what it comes down to. Now, Pentacles is usually more so about like material possessions, money, finances, that kind of thing. So it could be that this is more so in regards to like your career and what you want to do with your life. It could mean that you're going to move in a direction where you could make some really good money and, have like a good career opportunity here that you can easily create yourself, which I feel like is going to have to come out of your own passions and everything, not just like, following the status quo or whatever. But I do feel like you're going to rise in that endeavor, whatever it is, and be the star of your own show, basically, in a sense of whatever it is that you're doing. But the 10 of Pentacles could be, ultimate fulfillment all the way around too. That could be in relationships as well. But I'm definitely getting like the career vibe here, just because, we've got the Pentacles and we've got this whole thing about like creating the life of your dreams with the Magician and that kind of thing. Like you have a lot of inner star power here, is what it comes down to. And we have the tower. Now, the tower I know is going to seem kind of scary here with all these positive cards, because we have a lot of positive cards here. But, the tower is big change is what it comes down to. It doesn't have to be as scary as we make it out to be in our head. The only reason why the tower seems to be scary sometimes is simply because it's rattling our foundation. Think of the tower as basically an earthquake in a sense. It's shaking your foundation. It's shaking whatever was there, simply because whatever was there was probably not working. So whatever was there has to come tumbling down, so that way then something new and something better needs to be built. So you could be going through that right now. You could be going through a time in your life where maybe it seems like there's a lot of endings, where there's a lot of things that are just like falling apart and not going the way that you would like them to, that you anticipated them to. But I think it's a good thing, because it's putting you in this position to have, the opportunity to chase your passions and start creating the life of your own dreams, rise up and be the star of your own life and create your own happily ever after. So, and that's the thing, like that's the way the best stories happen too. The best stories usually happen because, someone has had to face unsurmountable odds and obstacles and those kinds of things. And they've had to overcome those things in order to, create the life of their dreams. That's the kind of stuff that inspires other people. So, don't be scared of that tower. It's just an opportunity to overcome something. It's an opportunity to leave things behind that don't work, so you can make room for new beginnings and better opportunities. And we have the King of Wands. So I feel like the King of Wands here is basically you. The King of Wands is someone who is fiery, he's passionate, he's magnetic, he's charismatic, he's Mr. Personality is what it comes down to, which makes sense here because once again, if you're going to be rising up in passion, which the King of Wands, he's all about passion here, and you're rising up in that star power, which if there's any king, I feel like that would hold star power, it would be that King of Wands here. I feel like that's basically you. So you've got this. And, that wand energy too is also very confident. It's a confident kind of energy. So you have that confidence deep down inside you. Even if you don't necessarily feel like you do, you do. I'm going to pull some Sacred Creators Oracle cards for you to go with that, since this seems to be like a super creative kind of message coming through. Okay, let's see what we get here. We have success and transformation. So like I said, you could be in a period of time in your life right now where you may be experiencing some of those tower moments where it could seem like some things are just falling apart all around you. And it may be like, oh, why is this happening? But it's not a bad thing. It's actually a good thing because it means your life is transforming, and it's transforming for the better. It's transforming so that way then these opportunities can come your way so you can create the life that you truly want. So, look for the opportunities in the middle of the chaos and in the midst of the insanity right now. I mean, think about like the whole past year in general, just for the world. For the whole past year for the world, the whole world has been in chaos and flipped upside down because of COVID. And it has not been an easy time for a lot of people. People have been sick, people have been dying, people have lost their jobs and income and that kind of stuff. And those are all terrible things. That's a whole bunch of tower moments right there. But at the same time, it's a highly creative time to look at things differently and to start over differently and to create differently in a better way than what it was like before COVID. So kind of look at it like that, because we're kind of like that right now, just on a global scale of things for a lot of people. Soul on fire. Once again, we got that fire energy coming through. There's been a lot of stuff coming here for you with fire. I don't know if you're a fire sign. Maybe it's confirmation of that, or maybe you just have a lot of fire in your chart. But like I said, you have a lot of fire in your soul, a lot of passion there, a lot of energy to be driven. And I feel like to get things done that you want to accomplish in your life. We have inflow with money. So like I said, I was definitely picking up like a career kind of vibe here. Like there is something that you are meant to do, which is going to be very, very lucrative to you and very beneficial to you. But I don't feel like it's just going to be like, like some people are just like, oh, I'm going to go and spend years and years in college to become a doctor just because it makes good money, but I'm not passionate about it. I don't care about being a doctor. I care about just making money. I don't feel like it's going to be that kind of thing, though. I feel like whatever it is that you're going to be doing, it's something that you really care about. It's something that you would do for free, for that matter. But you're not going to be doing it for free. You're going to be doing it making money. You're going to be making money coming in from it. And we have shift the way to new potential. So, once again, that's kind of like shifting from the chaos and the craziness that may be surrounding you right now, the tower moments, and, shifting into that transformation, shifting into, I'm going to create my best life out of this. I'm going to look at those obstacles as opportunities instead, that's part of the reason why I'm here doing readings right now on YouTube. When COVID hit, I lost all my dog walking clients, and I could not walk dogs anymore because that was not a thing during COVID. And I started doing this, and here I am. So total transformation. We all go through it at some point. Cut the cords of doubt. So, if you are doubting yourself at all, if you kind of look at things like, oh, but I have this circumstance and I have that circumstance, and, if I want to do X, Y, and Z, it takes A, B, and C, and I don't have A, B, and C, or whatever it is. Don't worry about it. Take it one step at a time. Cut the cords of doubt. Doubt is not going to help you do anything. Doubt is just going to kind of keep you locked down, in a sense, from having that forward movement, that forward potential movement that you want to have. And let me get one more for you. Choose who you are becoming, which I feel like is kind of just like a reiteration of that magician, because the magician card, like I said, he chooses who he's becoming. He has all of the ingredients right there in front of him to create the life that he wants to create. He could create something miserable and crappy if he wanted to, but, I wouldn't advise that, obviously. You have the power, though, to create an amazing and awesome life for yourself. So, choose that, choose to get past the obstacles, choose to get past, all the things that weigh you down, because that stuff is not going to do you any good in the long run. It's not going to help you. It's not helping you right now. It's not going to help you in the future. It's not going to help you to get to your goals. So, choose that star energy, choose that King of Wands. But yeah, it seems like you definitely have a lot of potential inside of you to go places. That's for sure. Big stuff in store. Just a matter of choosing so. So hopefully that helps you out there, Juan. Thank you for the reading. It made sense career-wise, because that is what I have been focusing the most with currently. With the fire energy, both moon and rising are Leo, with my sun being Pisces. That makes sense then. Yeah, totally. But yeah, keep going for it. Keep doing it. It's not easy. That's for sure. Nothing worth having is easy. It doesn't matter whether it's a career or a relationship or whatever it is. If it's worth it, it's going to take time. It's going to take sacrifice. It's going to take the right way of thinking. It takes a lot of stuff. but it's worth it. It's always worth it in the long run. So. And now for a little frozen hot chocolate break because it's so good. And I'm tired of summer and I'm ready for fall. Okay, Elizabeth, I believe you are next. Let me just move these cards out of the way. And we'll see what's happening here with Milton. All right. All righty. Hi, Seawin. Welcome, welcome. Am I still getting cool air here? Yeah, I am. I have to like put water into that portable air conditioner in order for it to like stay cool. I'm just making sure I still have that there. Okay, so you want to know what the future holds for the connection with your DM Milton. Okay. All right. So Elizabeth and Milton, let's see what they have in store for the future of their connection. Too many cards waiting to fall out again. Jeez. They're like, hello. We're all going to pop out right now. All right. Elizabeth and Milton. Let's see what we get. We have the Page of Swords. So I know he came out earlier tonight for Rachel, but he's back out again. So the Page of Swords is usually someone who is thinking about coming forward and saying something, speaking their truth, speaking something that they have on their heart, some kind of belief that they have. But because he's a page and he's not a knight, he's not like actually taking the action to do that. He's just thinking about it. He's just kind of mulling it over. So, if it's quiet, if there's not a lot happening right now, that's probably one of the reasons why he's just hanging around, sitting around, thinking about it. Let's see what else we have here. Let's see. Oh, that one just flipped out. Yep, that kind of just confirms that even more. We got the Hermit card. So Milton is probably in a time right now where he is just like going within, basically. He's just going within, spending time on his own, in his own thoughts. He may not even realize that he's meditating when he does meditate, but he's probably spending some time in meditation, just kind of withdrawn and pulled back and doing things on his own. Even if there is another person around him right now, he may be pulling back even from that person just to spend some time on his own. And that's probably where these thoughts come from of, maybe I should say something. Maybe I should reach out. Just maybe. I don't know. But yeah, all that thinking energy, that would definitely be something that would be a product of being in hermit mode. Let's see what else we have. We also have the Magician. The Magician is back out too. So I feel like at the end of the day, whatever you, Milton, decide, you both have the ability to create the best outcome possible with this connection. And I know it's been difficult, and I know it's been challenging and there hasn't been a lot of movement with that, but that doesn't mean that the potential isn't there. He's your divine masculine for a reason. Just because things are quiet, just because it seems like nothing is happening on the surface, doesn't mean that things aren't happening behind the scenes, because clearly they are with him being in hermit mode. Hermit mode is that behind the scenes kind of energy. It's not an energy that's filled with action and forward movement, but it's definitely something that has to happen before there is movement and forward action. So I feel like you both have the ability to turn the ship around here, to make things better. But it's on both of your ends. It's not just all him. It's not just all you. You have to make sure that, your thoughts are aligned with what it is that you want and how you want things to be dealing with him, and what you deserve. And he's got to align that himself, and I feel like he is in a time where he's trying to figure that out right now with that hermit. You yourself may be in a little bit of hermit mode right now simply because of that. Figuring things out for yourself too. And we have the Knight of Pentacles. So we finally got some movement here with the Knight of Pentacles. And the Knight of Pentacles, he does eventually come along. So, once again, slow and steady wins the race here. The good news is this means when Milton does come forward to you, when he finally does present these truths and he does talk to you, he's going to be grounded. He's going to be stable. He's going to be secure. He's going to be reliable. It's going to be the truth. It's going to be the honest truth. He's not just going to be like playing with you or anything like that. It's going to be coming from a genuine place. But he's probably going to take his time getting there, which doesn't surprise me, because if he is in hermit mode right now, he's not really at the point where he's even on the horse yet, basically. But that Knight of Pentacles, he's very slow. He takes his time. He always gets there. He always finishes the race, but he's just very slow. Slow and steady wins the race. That's what this always is with him. So it's going to take time is what it comes down to, which means on your end, it's probably going to require some patience. And, once again, anything that's worth having is worth the wait, is what it comes down to. That's not to say that, you have to keep yourself held up and never go out and socialize or anything like that. If there's someone else who comes along and they catch your eye and you want to go out on a date with them, go out on a date with them. You don't have to do that either. But the point is like, there's always going to be that part of you that's like, yeah, he's my person. I will wait until the ends of the earth. Like Ross and Rachel, they took 10 years to work it out, but they eventually worked it out. And we have the Queen of Pentacles. So I feel like this is how he sees you. He sees you as that Queen of Pentacles. She is the mother. She's a lover. She's an entrepreneur. She's very grounded and stable herself because of that pentacle energy, because of that earth energy. So I do feel like he sees you as someone who is stable and reliable. He knows that you're someone that he can count on, without a doubt. So he sees you in a positive light. He sees you as a good thing. He sees you as someone that he could have the long haul with, that he could have longevity with, that, you could be the wife, you could be the mom, you could be those things in his life. But once again, it's going to take time, time and patience. And we have the Ace of Pentacles. So I do believe that there will be a brand new, fresh start between you guys. And, with the Ace of Pentacles, it's definitely something very real, authentic, genuine. It's in the physical world too, because Pentacles are all about material possessions and being of the physical world. So I do feel like you are going to see movement in the physical world, that there is going to be this fresh new beginning, that he may come along and he may speak his truth. He may take his time to speak his truth, but he'll probably come along with a genuine and authentic offer just because you have that Ace of Pentacles here. So I just feel like it's going to take time. I don't feel like this is something that's going to be happening overnight. It's definitely going to be a progression. So since I am talking about time, I think I will pull some divine time cards for you. So maybe we can get like a little timing estimate on this to see what we need to know. But I mean, he will eventually come around. It's going to take time. That's the frustrating part. It's going to take some time. We have 444 Angelic Support Divine Alignment Foundations. So, and the lighting is crappy here, so I don't know how well you can see this, but like maybe show it that way a little bit. Now you just see the ring light. But anyway, yeah, with the foundations. I feel like the foundations is super important here, because in the meantime, since it does seem like this is something this is probably going to take some time to develop and to come about, now is a good time to work on your foundations. Like work on your foundations within yourself, work on your foundations, like just taking care of you, you know, any other area of your life where maybe things are not quite where it needs to be. Like if you need to work on your finances, work on that. Like if you have debts or something like that, now is a good time to work on paying those things off. Now is a good time to work on standing up on your own 2 feet and just like taking care of you for you as you is what it comes down to. You know, build your foundation, build your own castle, your own little empire. And that way, by the time he does come in and he is ready, hopefully his foundation will be a mirror image of your foundation. And then you guys can put that together and you guys can have like this huge, enormous empire between the two of you, basically. So now is the time to just, you know, work on your own foundation within, whether that's, you know, in your career, in your money, in like your own emotional and mental and spiritual well-being, you know, however it is that looks for you. But take care of those foundations. Make sure that things are solid and steady. So that way, then when he does come back, you know, it's like you guys won't have tower moments. It'll be built on something so stable and so secure that nothing could possibly make it come tumbling down. Tomorrow is another day. Try again another way. So part of this is about trial and error when it comes to building our foundations. You know, some things work, some things don't work. You know, you just kind of have to test it out. And, you know, if you have a bad day or you have a bad week, or if it even winds up being like a bad month, it's okay. Just keep on getting up and trying again the next day. That's the best thing that you can do, because eventually that is going to pay off into something that is going to help, that is going to make things better. So don't give up. Keep pressing on. Keep pushing through. We also have, it could be seconds if you count all your blessings, gratitude. And this one's really dark, so you can like barely see anything on it, but that is what it says on there. Anyways, with this card, I feel like once again, it's reminding you to stay with the attitude of gratitude. Remember to be thankful through everything, because the more thankful we are, in a sense, the more time will just fly by, in a sense. And it could change. Like right now, yeah, there's a lot of slower than molasses stuff coming through, but it could shift and it could speed things up as long as you're staying thankful. Like that's a huge part of having a solid foundation too, is by being thankful. The more thankful we are, the better it's going to be. You've been really focused on your healing. You've purchased more crystals, intention candles, and bath salts. You're also getting distance Reiki healing next month. That's awesome. That's all great and good stuff, you know? Yeah, the more that you can do for yourself, the better, for sure. Keep doing that. We also have, in divine time, things will alignment. So once again, this is just kind of going back to the whole thing of timing here. You kind of just have to wait things out. Keep doing exactly the things that you just mentioned there, you know, with the healing stuff, whether it's the crystals or the candles or, you know, the Reiki or whatever it is, you know, keep doing that. Like all that stuff is going to help you. You know, of course, don't like blow your whole wad on stuff. And then it's like, oh my God, I spent all my money on healing and now I have no money. You know, still be responsible, obviously. But I mean, you know what you need to do and what you don't need to do and all that other kind of stuff. But it is kind of just a matter of timing. And that's the thing too. Like, speaking of healing, last week I posted a video, like my own personal perspective about healing. I posted a video about some of my unpopular opinions when it comes to healing. And I don't want to get into the whole tirade with it here and now because that could turn into a whole separate thing. But basically, one of the things that I mentioned was sometimes it's not that God is waiting for us to be completely healed to be in union with our person or to have whatever it is happen that we're waiting for to happen. Sometimes God is asking us to wait on him just because he asks us to. Not because we did anything wrong, not because we're that crazy broken, but just because he asked us to. And sometimes it's just a test of our faith and our patience where we're just like, okay, yeah, we just have to trust and, allow it to kind of go with the flow. So sometimes that's just the way it is. And that's, like I said, that's all part of my unpopular opinions on healing video that I posted yesterday, or not yesterday, last week. I kind of went on a tirade with that. I was like, I got some things to say. Because the biggest thing that bothers me, I think, especially in the twin flame community, is there seems to be this expectation that you have to be perfect, that you have to be 100% healed in order to be in union with your person, which I disagree with. I think healing is important and it needs to happen. Yes, I'm not saying this is a hall pass to go around all unhealed and stuff, but I do think that there is a period of time where we work on ourselves, and then there's another period of time where we come together with our person, and the healing process continues with them, because we're always going to be broken our entire lives. We're never going to be completely healed. We're always going to be works in progress, whether we're in a relationship or not. So it's silly for people to think I have to be perfectly healed before I'm with somebody, because it's not realistic. It's not going to happen. So, okay. Anyways, mini tangent. Back to my cards here with the polling. Something sweet or something sour is coming for you within the hour, trick or treat. So this is kind of like a Halloween kind of a card. In a sense, with it saying trick or treat. It's also saying that something could happen for you within the hour. I wouldn't necessarily take that as like Bible, like, oh, you're going to hear from him in an hour or something. But I feel like, in a sense, this card is kind of saying a couple of things. Number one, expect the unexpected, because you just never know what's going to happen any given moment in this crazy journey called life. And with the trick or treat thing, if you think about it, like October is not going to be that far away. We're almost in August now. We're just a few days away from that, and that's 2 months away from October. So you could see something happen in October. There could be some form of movement or communication or just some kind of change, some kind of shift in your connection. Let me get one more here, though, for you when it comes to timing. And we have beginnings and endings. Our beginnings and endings are the same oneness. So, that's always a good thing to remember. Anytime something is ending, something new is beginning. That's kind of just like with the cycles of life is what it comes down to. So, I know you've been through some painful endings with him in the past, but there's also like these opportunities for new beginnings and for better things to be happening and good things to be happening too. And I feel like you'll have new beginnings with him as well, but it is just a matter of timing. It's just a matter of timing, you doing what you need to do for you. He'll catch up and do what he needs to do for him. And when the time is right, boom, you guys will be exactly where you need to be, and all will be well. That made you laugh so hard, but yes, you agree. Well, I'm glad I can bring the comedy with the truth. Like, I feel like we need to be able to laugh here, you guys. Like, we can't get too serious when it comes to our twin flames or to life or anything like that. We need to have that ability to just laugh. And mine, like, that was one of the first things that pulled me in, is I thought he was just like freaking hilarious. He was just like this weirdo, and I still think that's amazing about him. But anyways, back to my frozen hot chocolate, and then I think, Jessica, you are up next. It was It was the part of healing. It was the part of healing. Yes, indeed. You've got that right. We're never going to be fully healed and always have some work to do on ourselves. Thank you for the reading. You're very welcome. Yeah, just keep doing what you're doing. You know, I feel like as long as you guys stay on that track, you'll be a-okay. You're going to have to watch it because we have talked about it a lot. Yeah, it's around. I feel like I should find the link to that. Hold on. I'll put it in the chat really quick. I'll put it in the chat. Let me just bring it up really fast, and I'll put the link to the video, my tangent about healing. It's not a reading at all. It's just me going nuts about healing. But that's okay. Sometimes we need to do that. I have a new tangent coming this week. Okay. That is the video on healing that I just put in the chat. This week, and I don't know what has been going on with me since I moved and since I got settled and stuff, because when I was in LA, you know, I just came on this channel and I just do nothing but readings and readings and readings. And I still pretty much do nothing but readings. But lately I've kind of been going on these tangents where it's just like, if something is put on my heart, it's like God is like, you need to get on the camera and you need to talk about this on YouTube. And I'm like, really? Like, this is really uncomfortable and this is really vulnerable. Like, that healing video is definitely like, get out on the road with some vulnerability on YouTube. But I have another one coming that I'm probably going to film at some point this week, maybe even tonight after this. I don't know. But the theme of it is basically going to be about never settling and instead chase down peace rather than like a person or an objective or a goal or anything like that. Chase peace and don't settle. So that's like a whole other tangent. Thank you, Jessica. I'm glad you love my tangents. Sometimes I'm like, I don't know if people want to hear me just I'm like, do people really want to hear this? But hey, if it helps, that's what I'm here for. Hi, Melissa. I'm good. I'm very hot today. That was one of my reasons for why I was like running late getting onto my live tonight, because all day it's just been so hot here. It's been like 90 degrees, hot and humid, and like the air conditioning in here, it works fine, like it's good, but the ventilation system is kind of weird and it's like kind of uneven in certain areas of the apartment. Like if I were to be in my bathroom right now, I would be sweating like crazy because there's like no ventilation back there. It's like way back in this corner where it's like there's no air back there. I have to like drag in a little hand fan and everything. It drives me nuts. But yeah, it's just been so hot today. So I've got like my little portable air conditioner thing next to me. And when I was in LA, I was on like the first floor. So like I didn't have that issue. Now I'm on the second floor and it's like the heat is just all coming up here. And I'm like, oh, it's so hot. I'm so over summer. I just want it to be fall already, please. Like, this is so annoying. But the good thing is, I'm assuming by the time we get to the colder months, I should probably be okay. I should probably be like nice and warm and toasty and comfy cozy in here. So that'll be a nice thing. You're currently cleaning dust from your room and walls. Got it sanded for painting. Oh, wow. Yeah, I do have AC. It's really weird. I don't know how to describe it. Like, majority of the air conditioning is like behind me in like the living room. The living room is on that wall behind me. And then you see this bench thing that's like over here on this side. Like, the ventilation system is literally through the bench. Like, it literally like comes out through the bench is the best way to describe it. And then it like continues on like going that way because my bedroom is on the other side of the wall over there, and it continues through there. So like it is all air conditioned, but it's just it's not even. It's really weird. I don't know how to describe it. It's just annoying. It's just hot. I'm just over it. But sanding and painting, wow, that sounds like something that would definitely work up a sweat for sure. Okay, Jessica, let me just check here really quick between PayPal and Venmo, and then I got Jessica up next. Okay, yes, we're good on PayPal. Shadow, where are you? I don't know where he is. And Venmo's good. Okay. All right. So, Jessica, you wanted to basically, let me just see if I got this right. You wanted to either check in on the dream or like what's going on with him, like what, or kind of like both. Like, just so I'm clear on what my intentions are in pulling the cards here for him. Shadow, where are you? I hear you. I hear your tags. I hear you. But yes, let's see what is going on. Move some cards around here. Put this over here. Essentially both. Okay. Yeah. Well, that's kind of what I was gonna go for anyways. Let's see what's happening with Jessica and her DM. See what comes through dealing with that dream or anything that we need to know in general dealing with him. All right, we've got temperance. So temperance can be about patience, which likes to come out a lot lately. So we got temperance here. Temperance is also about balancing things out. It's about balancing the scales. So I feel like that dream, in a sense, that may have happened to kind of like help balance out the scales in a sense, because I know it has been dead and kind of quiet with him for a pretty solid amount of time. So it could be like a way of kind of like balancing things out in a sense, but you're still waiting on things with him at the same time too, which temperance can definitely be about, waiting and patience. But let's see what else comes through here. Temperance isn't a bad thing though. I mean, it's overall a general good energy because we do want things to be balanced out. Yes, hot weather sucks. Oh my gosh. One thing that I am looking forward to going into the fall is the fact that it could be like November and I'll actually see the trees change colors and stuff, and I hopefully won't be seeing fiery skies like I would in LA, because that's how it would be there. It's like, oh, it's like November 17th and everything's on fire. That was always fun. Although I've been seeing the fiery California sky here, though, I've been seeing like the orange sun and everything, because apparently the smoke from out there is going like all the way to the East Coast. It's going all the way in New York. So I've been like driving around like, why does it feel like I'm in California when I'm not in California? This is weird. Okay, we have the Two of Pentacles. So the Two of Pentacles is about juggling, basically. It's about juggling several different things. So I feel like he may be juggling things right now. He may be juggling a few things in his life, which is probably why he wants temperance. He wants balance. He wants balance in his life if he's juggling things. And I don't get the vibe that like it's another person or anything like that. I just feel like there's a lot on his plate. It could be at work. I feel like a lot of it could be just simply within himself. Because I don't get the vibe that like he's the kind of guy who's just going to like jump into relationships or just be dating around with all these women or anything like that. I feel like he's just like balancing a lot of stuff out within himself. So that's what I feel like the juggling is. The juggling is him trying to balance things within himself. And we have the King of Wands. So he does have this desire inside of him. He does have like this passion and this drive and this charisma. You know, he does have those abilities in him. And I feel like he does have that passion when it comes to you because he is in that King of Wands kind of energy. Let's see what else we have. What else is going on with him? And we have the Queen of Wands. So I feel like he sees you as his queen. You are his Queen of Wands. So we do have that perfect match that just came out here. So you guys are the perfect match to one another. I feel like for both of you, like the passion just in general in your lives may in a sense kind of be lacking, not when it comes to like work or those kinds of things, but I feel like just when it comes to love and relationships and sex and that kind of stuff, I feel like for both of you guys there's just not a lot going on there. So you guys are kind of like in this energy of like feeling each other is what it comes down to. And that's probably just another reason why he wants to balance things out in his own life so he can figure this out. The dream felt like it was real and he was talking to my soul. He probably was. I mean, and that's usually what they do, you know, a lot of the times that's how it starts. A lot of the times it's like they're 5D selves will wind up coming to us in the dreams and will be talking to us because it's easier for them to do it that way. It's easier for them to do it that way than, you know, in the 3D type of way. You know, that's how it all started for me 2 years ago. And we have the Four of Swords. So I feel like whatever it is he has been juggling within himself, he wants rest. He wants peace. He wants to just like lay down that fourth sword here, basically, and kind of put things at rest. He doesn't want to have this battle within himself anymore because I feel like that's what it really is. I feel like he's having this battle within, you know, with the juggling and that kind of stuff. He's juggling within himself. And like, I know in the dream, he mentioned stuff about like going through a divorce and having a child when those are not things that he's dealing with at all right now. That's not even his reality at all. So I feel like, you know, considering you said that it felt like he was like actually speaking to you and speaking to your soul, trust that. And I don't feel like that means that, you know, he's suddenly married with a kid or whatever and he has to do those things. But I really feel like he may have fears kind of revolving around that is what it may come down to. He may have fears about making that commitment and then things just like falling apart and then he winds up divorced and it winds up affecting a child if a child becomes involved. And he probably doesn't want those things to happen. It's all fear-based. And I know you said that, you know, his parents have had like this super long, amazing marriage. And like I said, he could admire that to the point where he's intimidated by it, where he's probably just like, how do I measure up to that? How can I possibly have that same experience? Because let's be real, most people nowadays don't have that experience. So he's probably scared of a sense of not being able to achieve the greatness in terms of relationship stuff that his parents have. So really tap into that. We also have the Nine of Wands, and the Nine of Wands is the wounded warrior. So I feel like this is him. I feel like he's definitely kind of been in that wounded warrior energy where, like I said, he's probably been mulling this over a lot in his head. He's probably just like, you know what? I really want to move forward. I want to be with the queen to my King of Wands. I want to rest. I want to have peace. I want to like not be fighting within myself about this anymore. I want to no longer juggle when it comes to this. I want to have balance when it comes to this. But I'm so just like wounded and wrapped up in my own head, basically, that things are going to fall apart. So it's like he almost kind of shoots things down in a sense before they have a chance to even take off. And that may be kind of the thing that maybe he was trying to express to you in the dream. But this is what he wants. He wants union. 4 of Wands. 4 of Wands, 11, 11. This is what he wants. And I feel like that's probably something he was probably trying to express to you in that dream as well. Even if you take, the words out of it, even if you take the storyline out of it, just like tap into the feeling of what he was trying to say. What was there in the feeling of it? And the feeling was probably this, probably what he's desiring with you. Let me see here. I'm going to pull some Psychic Tarot of the Heart Oracle cards for you. And we'll see what else comes through. But those dreams don't need to be ignored. They definitely mean something. And the feeling, I feel like, is probably even more important than the words. I really do. Because however it is that you're left in terms of your feels is probably the most important lesson that you need to take away from it. We have flow. So I feel like for both of you guys, you just need to kind of let this flow, especially when it comes to you understanding the dream, instead of like over analyzing all the little details of it, or over analyzing like, oh, there was this detail that he said, and there was that little detail of what happened, and this, that, and the other thing. Just kind of like go back into that dream, and more so than the words of it and everything, feel it. Feel that dream. Feel it, because then you'll really be able to flow through it. And if you can flow through it, I feel like that's going to help you a lot in just like understanding better and figuring it out, like what it really means, and just more flow in general between the two of you as a whole in your connection. And that's probably the thing that stops us up the most when it comes to these connections, is we have a tendency of just like putting the plug in and be just like, nope, I'm going to stop this up. Not a good idea. We got to let it flow. And there's so many ridiculous creative reasons we can think of to stop it up, but we should not do that. Got to go with the flow. Yeah, I'd honestly shut off to, you've honestly been shut off to him and everything for months, but this brought the feels back full force. Yeah, you can't shut it off. Like, that's the thing. Like, you can't shut it off because it's always going to be there. And when you do shut it off, it's going to come back with a vengeance. It is going to be full force like that. Look at this guy here in the water, that's basically what this card is talking about. It's like water. So, if you think about a twin flame connection as a constant stream of water, it's constantly going. You can either let it flow, or you can stop it up, and the next thing you know, whatever you have plugged in there to stop it up, it's only going to hold that water for so long, and then it's going to get to the point where it's just going to pop that thing off, and it's going to burst, and it's going to be this big, huge mess you got to clean up. So it's better to just let it flow. Even if you don't understand it, even if it doesn't make any sense, it doesn't have to make sense. It's better to just let it flow, because stopping it up, it's no good for anybody. It's not going to sound pretty, but the best way I can describe it is, don't make yourself constipated about it. It's the best way I can describe it. It's like when you stop up the flow of things between you and your person, it's like spiritual constipation. And then you wind up having like all this toxic stuff inside of you because you're not letting it flow. Just like you allow toxic stuff to stay inside of you when you don't poop, basically. So that's the most basic way I can put it. But Yeah, you got to let it flow. Don't be toxic to yourself. And we have rebuild. So I feel like another reason why he came to you in this dream is he does want to rebuild things. He does want to make things better. He wants to rebuild things so you guys can get that Four of Wands. So yeah, he doesn't want things to stay like this. And he's going to come back and he's going to pester you, whether it's in a dream or some other synchronicity or something else is going to happen. It's going to happen again. That doesn't mean that you have to stay focused on him and you have to make your life about him. That's not what going with the flow is. That's a different way of stopping it up. It just means that, you acknowledge he's an important part of your life and you work on the things that you need to work on in regards to it. It doesn't take up your whole life or your whole time or your whole day. No, but you acknowledge that it's there and you deal with it when it has to be dealt with. Share the love. So I also feel like he came to you in the dream to share his love with you because it has been a while. And, he still wants to be able to connect with you on that level too. Like, it has been quiet. It has been a long time, but his love is still there. The connection is still there. You can stop it up. You can run away from it. You can do all these other different things, but it's not going to make it disappear. It doesn't make it go away. So he does want to share the love. He was there. I feel like one of the reasons he was there was to, in a sense, kind of give you like a peace offering. That's almost kind of like a peace offering in a sense. So it's like, I feel like he wanted to extend an olive branch and say, hey, I know I haven't talked to you. I know I've been distant, but, I want you to know I am still here. I do still care that this may be slow, that this may not, go exactly how you want it to or when you want it to, but I'm still in it to win it, basically. And we have lead. So, especially considering you did get the King of Wands and the Queen of, come here, my King and Queen of Wands. Where are you? Yeah, considering you did get the King of Wands that came out here, I feel like he was kind of stepping up in that leadership position of, a king kind of energy, the King of Wands kind of energy. He was stepping into that, appearing in that dream, being there for you, letting you know that he was still there. So he was stepping into a masculine kind of energy in that dream. Now, it's just a matter of him crossing over and doing that in the physical and 3D world, obviously. That's where it gets a little bit more tricky. But I feel like he was showing you that he has the capability to do that, that he does have that inside of him. He can show that. There is a sliver of that there. So it's just something he's going to have to build on. And we have awaiting results, which I feel like goes without saying. It's kind of like that temperance energy once again with needing to have patience. And, it takes waiting is what it comes down to. It takes patience. And, I always tell people, especially if you resonate with me as a reader, it's probably because there's a lot of patience that you have to work out within yourself. You may naturally be an impatient person because I'm an impatient person. And I know that in my journey, at least, faith and patience is basically my whole theme. It's been my whole theme since or barking, apparently. Shadow, why? And now my Furbo dog camera is letting me know it's going off, letting me know that he's barking. I know he's barking. I hear him. What are you doing? I don't know why he's barking at. I really don't. You have no patience. Well, welcome to the club. Welcome to the no patience club, because like I said, shadow barking probably is a sign. Hey, what are you doing? Shadow, come here. What are you doing? What are you doing? Are you trying to tell us something about patience? Are you trying to tell us something about patience? Come here. Come here.
Come here. Oh my goodness.
goodness. Oh my goodness. Sometimes the puppy is impatient. Are you impatient too? What were you barking at? Was there someone outside? Was there someone in the hallway? What was going on? What was going on out there? You made the Fergo camera go off. I don't know what he's looking at. I'll put you down. I'll let you go play. But animals do know. They do. They do know. That's for sure. Same for you, Melissa, with the patience. Yeah, he's a good boy. He's a cutie. And it's funny though, because I have endless amounts of patience for that dog. Maybe not other things in my life, but I have crazy amount of patience for that dog. But yeah, like patience is a big part of it, unfortunately. Like I wish it wasn't. I wish it was different, but considering he just went off, I feel like that just kind of verifies the whole patience thing right there. Yeah, I mean, they're going to come in our lives and they're going to test us when it comes to patience is what it comes down to. So yeah, if you resonate with me as a reader, that's probably why you're probably on a similar track with patience is what it comes down to. But that's what I got for you, Jessica. Hopefully that gives a little bit of clarity and insight with the dream and everything else. But you know, be kind to yourself. Try not to beat yourself up when it comes to the impatience. You know, like I get it because, you know, I've been here about a month or so now, like a little over a month, like 2 months or something like that. I don't know. And there are parts of me that's like really impatient where I'm just like, I'm here. We need to work this out now because like I've known you for 26 years. Like we need to work this out now. But I gotta be patient because I may be ready for certain things, but he is not. And I have to be okay with that. Although frozen hot chocolates help. So pass the time doing something that you like. And if that means enjoying frozen hot chocolates, then have a frozen hot chocolate. Summer 95. I was a ripe 14 years of age. So, oh God, I hope not. Oh my gosh. I mean, it's possible. He knows I have a YouTube channel. I guess it's possible he could watch it at some point. But I don't know. I try not to think about it. I try to just like speak and say what I have to say anyways, just because I'm here to help you guys, not so I can sit here and talk about him and be like, blah, 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 blah. So, oh my gosh, that's stressful. But yeah, ever since I was 14, very long time ago. That's one of the reasons why I resonate so much with Bridget as a reader, because we both have been dealing with our person since we were both 14. So, and I didn't even know that when I first reached out to her for like a reading. I had no idea that that was her background, but it made sense after I did. I was just like, oh, it makes sense. We kind of have a similar situation. You're very welcome. You are very welcome for the reading. So yeah, we all got to work on our patience. It's so not fun. But let me see what's happening here on the phone, because I know I got some PayPal notification stuff going on. Oh yeah, 100% he is. It's a very long story. Speaking of background, I love the new setup. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. I have that somewhere on the channel too. I did an apartment tour of like the entire apartment, not just, you know, in here, not just the room and everything. Like this is the office space, obviously, but I did like an apartment tour where the living room is and the 2 bathrooms and the bedroom over there, and it's all there, the apartment tour. But yeah, I like it. We got like a little twinkle twinkle light sheet thing going on. I've got my little California thing. I've got so many California things in here still. It's like, yeah, so many California things. Yes to the Paris thing. Paris is always a good idea. It's actually not a poster. It's a what are they called? It's like a wall hanging because it's material. It's not paper. It's like actual material. So it's like a wall hanging. But yeah, so it's fun. I like it. Well, yeah, I mean, I was thinking tapestry, but tapestries I feel like are more like artsy, like they're like hand sewn and stuff. I mean, that thing I got at Rue 21. So didn't cost very much money. I would say it's more like a wall hanging. But yeah, so there we go. All right, Venmo is good. Let me go to PayPal, see what is happening here. All right, Melissa, you are up next, my friend. Okay. So we have, who is connecting with you through dreams? So vivid and detailed. Not sure if it's an entity or a person that's still alive. Ooh, okay. All right, let's find out. Let's find out what's going on. So let's see what's going on for Melissa in her dreams. Oh, we just had one totally fly out there. So we have the Six of Wands, and the Six of Wands is about a time of celebration. It's about good times, partying, enjoying, living life, having fun. So I don't feel like whoever it is that's coming to you in your dreams, I don't feel like it's a bad thing. I don't feel like it's a bad entity or a bad person or anything like that, because we do have the Six of Wands here. The Six of Wands is a positive, celebratory, party kind of energy. So I feel like whoever it is that's coming through to you probably wants to celebrate with you, probably wants to enjoy life. We also have the High Priestess. So I feel like they may see you as the High Priestess. They may be coming to you because you yourself are very highly intuitive. I feel like this card is almost kind of asking you yourself to tap into your own inner High Priestess to understand who or what this person is. Because most of the time, especially in our dreams, we usually do know like who it is or what it's about or what the context is about. We usually know. So I feel like whoever it is, they probably know that you are a High Priestess, but I feel like you yourself should tap into that High Priestess energy so you can understand better who it is. Because, the High Priestess, she knows all, she sees all. Other people may not necessarily know everything going on with her, but she definitely knows a lot. That's for sure. Oh, that's too many. That's like a whole big chunky group. Let's keep shuffling here. Four of Wands. So I feel like whoever may be coming to you in your dream, I mean, I know you said, I think you said like last night during Bridget's live that you didn't know if you were a twin, but I feel like it could be your twin flame reaching out to you in the dream, because you got union here. You got four wands, 11 union, coming together. It's basically like a marriage card is what it comes down to here. So the person who may be reaching out to you, I don't feel like it's an entity or a spirit or anything like that. I feel like it very well could be a living person. It could be your twin flame. It could be the person that you are the most connected to. especially considering, like, I know the star seed thing resonates for you a lot, and I know that a lot of the times, like, the star seed stuff and the twin flame stuff, they kind of go hand in hand. They kind of, have a way of working their way together, is what it comes down to. And naturally, if it is a twin flame who wants to come together with you in union, it makes sense that they also want to come together with you to celebrate, because being in union together would be a very celebratory thing. No idea if you're a twin. Well, when you do meet him, you will definitely know. But I think it's possible that you do have one. You may not have met him yet. You may not know who he is yet, but it seems like there is somebody out there that you have a strong soul connection. I would say if it's not a twin flame, it's probably a soulmate. Definitely, I would say like a love interest that is trying to connect with you in the dream. Yes, you love the starseed stuff, trying to learn more about them. Yeah, and there's so many of them too, so there's a lot of stuff out there. For me, I think it always made sense that I connect with the Syrian energy, because that's like the dog star, and, well, I'm a little obsessed with my dog. I'm not codependent on my twin flame. I'm codependent on my dog. If anything, he needs to worry about my relationship with that dog, because that dog comes first. Anyways, we have the Fool. So I feel like, once again, this person that you're connecting with in your dream, they probably want to take a leap of faith towards you. They want to come towards you. So once again, you guys may not know each other yet. You may not have met each other yet, but I feel like this person is enthusiastic. They're excited. They want to meet you. They want to take that leap of faith and be just like, okay, when is the right time that we're going to connect? When is the right time that we're going to meet? So I feel like this person wants to take that leap of faith and come towards you, not just in your dreams, but in reality, in real life, in the 3D physical world. But it's all very positive stuff. So, I mean, that's definitely a good thing. Oh, we have the Ten of Swords. So we have a painful ending here. So let me pull another card to get a clarifier on the Ten of Swords, because everything else is so positive. Of course, the second I say, oh, this is all going so well, then we get a card come through with like terrible endings or whatever. Let's see what that one's about. So we have the King of Wands. So I feel like, once again, if this is your twin flame, which I feel like it very well could be, I feel like you could be dealing with somebody who is a King of Wands, which means he is very fiery, he's very passionate, he's very magnetic, he's charismatic, he's Mr. Personality is what it comes down to. Everybody is drawn to him in a certain way. But twin flame situations can be very painful. There are painful endings that do happen in them. That doesn't mean that you're going to have a painful ending with this person, that it's going to end badly, but it does mean that if you wind up being on this journey, you're probably going to have times where it's going to feel like your entire world is falling apart, where it feels like your heart is just being ripped to shreds, and like this King of Wands came along and did a Mexican hat dance all over your heart, basically. So, there are seasons. There are seasons where it kind of comes and goes with that. So I feel like it's just kind of showing a representation, kind of in a sense, of how that journey can be. But I do feel like the person who is coming through is a twin flame. It's definitely that kind of vibe here. So you may not know them yet. I don't know when they're going to come, but at some point they'll probably appear. And we have the Star. So I feel like this person looks at you as the star in their life, basically. So yeah, it's like you have that it factor to them is what it comes down to. Like there's nobody else that compares to them. You and he's barking again. I really don't know what's going on, and my Furbo camera is letting me know he's barking. Shadow, quiet. Why are you freaking out? Yeah, so this person definitely sees you in that star energy because Shadow says so, basically. But yeah, they see you in that star energy. It's like their entire world could be dark and terrible around them, and you would still be that bright, shining light in the midst of their darkness. Yeah, totally. It is a sign. So, like I said, I feel like this is your twin who's coming through to you in the dream. And that's the other tricky thing too. It depends on like what your contract is and what you guys agreed upon in this lifetime, because before you guys come here, you guys are going to wind up deciding like the timing of when you're going to meet and how you're going to meet and all the other kind of stuff. So, for some people, it could be super early in their life. For some people, it can be later in life. Who knows? There's a whole bunch of different possibilities when it comes to that. Some people wind up even coming here and they wind up sometimes having a life where their twin isn't even here, and that they just have a lifetime with their twin is still like in the stars or whatever. That could be a possibility too, especially if you're not like feeling connected to anybody here. But that doesn't mean that they're not going to come along. Take a sip of this. Okay. Let me get you some oracle cards on this. Let's see. I'm going to continue with the psychic tarot for the heart on this one, so we can find out more 411 on this person, although it definitely seems like twinny energy. I don't know what craziness Shadow's getting himself into. Oh, that dog, I swear. All right, we've got nurture. So I think one of the best ways for you to understand the nature of your dreams is to nurture yourself in a sense. Maybe spend some time in nature. Just take good care of you. Like the more you take better care of yourself, the more you're going to have a good understanding of your dreams as a whole, whether it's connected to this person or not. So just continue to make sure that, you're taking care of you, you're doing what you need to do for yourself. Just breathe came out too. So just remember to just breathe through the situation. You don't have to have it all figured out overnight or anything. Just breathe through it. That's important too. And we have clarity of belief. So I feel like clarity of what you're seeking here, dealing with your dreams, is on the way to you. And once again, I feel like you innately already know the answer to this question because you are that high priestess. So I feel like the more you tap into her, the more you're going to have clarity on the symbolism in these dreams. You're going to have better understanding as to who this person is, as to what is going on, as to all of that stuff. So clarity of belief is definitely there. It's available to you. It's on your way to you. You just got to tap into that intuition. Intuition knows best. Definitely. Nurture. Yes, nurturing is so important. So incredibly important. Opportunity beckons. So I feel like these dreams are also revealing to you opportunities that await you, like opportunities when it comes to this person, opportunities when it comes to your mission in life, period, like your entire soul purpose. Because usually, if you are in a twin flame connection, usually your twin flame is somehow going to be related in, tied into, connected to whatever it is that you're doing in your life. You know, they're usually some kind of inspiration, some kind of muse behind what you're doing. So there is definitely opportunity to be seeing through that. But yeah, I mean, this is definitely a good vibe coming through. I mean, nothing scary. And we have love abounds. So, like I said, I do feel like it's a twin flame. It's a love connection. You know, it's definitely that romantic vibe. So, this is someone who loves you very, very much. And that's why they keep reaching out to you in your dream. Because, you know, you are aware of what twin flames are, whether you know who your person is or not. You know that these solid, important, significant connections exist. You understand that. You understand how important like the bond and the strength of unconditional love is, and I feel like that's what this person is trying to show you in these dreams. The fact that, you know, whether they're here on this earth and you guys have yet to meet each other, or they're still up in the stars and you're here, wherever they are, regardless, they're trying to show love and support to you, and the fact that they're always going to be there for you because they're a part of you. So that's what I got for the dream question. Yes, Furbo, I know. My dog was barking. Oh my gosh. All right. Oh man. Okay. So the next one is a tall. Can you use an oracle deck that gives physical and personal traits for a love reading? I want a love reading for incoming love. Okay. You're very welcome. I do have a deck that does have some like physical and personality traits, but they're not all just, you know, like, oh, blonde hair, brown hair, blue eyes, green eyes, whatever. Like, it's not all just that stuff. Like, there's stuff in general. So, but it's the only one I can think of that has those types of things. So I'll go with the Amira's Love Oracle on that, and we'll see what comes through. All right. So any descriptions we could possibly have here for Melissa in terms of incoming love? Well, I will reread all the dreams I wrote so far and analyze them. Yes, the Oracle deck works. That Oracle deck works. Awesome. Well, that's good that you wrote them down. So that way then, because, you know, so much of the time, you know, we'll forget if we don't write it down. So the good thing is you kind of have a track record. So if you have like another dream down the road where you get a lot of insight, and then maybe you want to reflect back on a dream that you had like a month or so ago or something like that, you can connect the dots and see how they all come together. So the first card you got is Mature Man. Now, this doesn't mean that it's going to be an old man like on the card. Doesn't mean that, you know, grandpa's coming after you or something. But I feel like what it does mean is whoever it is that is going to be coming for you, number one, they probably will be older than you. It doesn't mean they're going to be like 20 years older than you or something like that. It could be just like a year older than you. But bottom line is they will probably be a little bit older than you. And also the other thing I'm picking up with maturity as well is that they are going to be mature. Like, you know, you could be with somebody who is older than you, but in a sense, like just in terms of maturity, you could still be the older person in a sense. You know, they could be the kid and it's like you could be the adult. You know, like maybe somebody is, you know, 7 years older than you or something, and they like to play their video games and are like Peter Pan, and they don't want to grow up and they don't want to commit and stuff like that. Like that's an example of someone who's older than you, but they kind of still are like a kid in a sense. Like there's a maturity factor there. But I don't feel like it's going to be like that with this guy. I feel like he's going to be not only just like a little bit older than you, but he'll probably like have a good sense of maturity. Like he's not going to be afraid of commitment, because usually guys who are immature are much more afraid of commitment, that kind of thing. He's probably going to be someone who takes life seriously. He's not just going to be like wasting time or anything like that. So I do feel like like he's a mature, solid dude. He's probably someone who's seen a little bit of life and therefore has learned from that and has probably healed from that. Immaturity also comes from a lack of not healing as well. Like you can be through a lot, but if you haven't healed that, you're going to be immature in a sense still. And we have true love. So I feel like this guy is going to wind up being your true love. Could be that twin flame that could be coming. Could be the one that's talking to you in the dreams. So we got true love, mature man. Long distant. So this may not be someone who lives in your area. I don't know exactly how that means you guys will meet. Maybe this is going to be like an online romance or something like that at first, or someone that you'll meet through a friend or something like that. But it seems like there is going to be some physical distance between you and this person, that you guys are not going to be like within the same neighborhood. So that could be one of the challenges. That could be one of the roadblocks between the two of you. Initially in the beginning, but it seems like there could be like a long distance factor. He may not live in your area. And we have work. So I feel like this guy is going to be a very hard worker is what it comes down to, which makes sense with maturity. So I feel like he's going to be someone who takes his work very seriously. Maybe he has some of that like Taurus or Capricorn kind of energy, very earthly, very grounded. It could be that kind of a thing. But I feel like he's someone who definitely takes his responsibilities seriously. He works hard. His job is probably important to him. That could be one of the reasons for the long distance as well, depending on if his work like takes him places or something like that. But he's going to be a hard worker. But I feel like he's a hard worker in everything, like not just in his job, but if he's a hard worker in his job, he's probably a hard worker in his relationships too, because he takes things seriously. I'm seeing my twin flame possibly Saturday. We have been back in communication since the 11th. Could you give me some advice when I see him? Well, hi, Joan. Welcome to the live, number one. I can help you with that, but I am doing paid readings only, just so you know. So I can take your question if you just check out the PayPal and Venmo in the description down below, and you can choose what it is that you want in terms of your options, how I answer, because I have 3 different options for that. They're all $10 or under. So just check out the description box and I can help you out with that. And we have family. So I feel like, especially with this guy being, the true love and being someone who's a hard worker and someone who's mature and all these other things, I feel like you guys have the potential to build a life together is what it comes down to have a family with one another. So, overall, I would say it's a really good vibe here coming through dealing with him. So, I mean, not a lot on like the physical qualities or anything. I feel like the most we got here on the physical side of it was maturity, but he definitely seems to be a solid, stable dude, someone you can rely on. I would say it's definitely like that King of Pentacles kind of energy there. So, I'd say it's a pretty decent dude, pretty solid dude. All right, let me see your next question there, Melissa. And we have, will be applying for work away from California. Will applying for work away from California be a good opportunity, or do I stay here in California with my family? That's so funny because like I this is just so funny because I literally just did that reading for you, dealing with, you know, the characteristics or traits or whatever, dealing with the new love. And that's really funny. Like, what if you went away? What if you left California and that's how you wound up meeting this guy? Because he lives somewhere else and you're from California originally. That would be kind of wild. Just connecting the dots there between the two. But I'll pull cards to see for sure. But yeah, let's see if you should leave California. You're very welcome with the oracle reading. I just think that's funny. You got that long distance that came out, and now you're like, should I leave California? Either that, or maybe like you'll connect with somebody in California, like when you leave or something like that. Like that's so wild. So we'll see what happens. Well, let's see. I mean, I do know in general there has definitely been that great Californian exodus that has been going on for a long time now. I can't tell you how many people that I have known that have left LA. Like before I left LA, I've seen friends on Facebook and stuff post that they're leaving LA after I've left LA. Like there's so many people who are just poof up and leaving. And I think for a lot of people, so many are leaving because of the money, because it is really expensive. I mean, California is a beautiful state and I love it. You know, clearly I love it. Like there it is, boom, right there, home. But I mean, it is crazy expensive. Like, just to give you a little insight here on a big money saver on my end, which I was floored on. I recently paid for my car insurance. My car insurance was due, and I usually pay it every 6 months. And in California, my car is a 2017, so it's not brand new, but it's not like super old either. My driving record is clean, and I was paying like around $1,000 every 6 months for car insurance. I came here, all of a sudden that dropped $600. I only paid $400 for my car insurance for the next 6 months, like $800 a year. That's insane. That's absolutely friggin' insane to me. Like I nearly passed out with the State Farm lady on the phone. I was like, I'm sorry. You said my insurance is how much? What? Like I was in disbelief. But yeah, like that makes a huge difference just because it was California, insurance in California. So yeah, it's insane. Absolutely crazy. So I have saved so much money since moving here. I've saved $600 on my car insurance. I've saved $600 on my rent. And I have an extra bedroom and extra bathroom on top of it. Like it's insane. So anyways, separate tangent aside, let's see if Melissa should stay or go when it comes to California. Stay or go. So we have death coming through, which is transformation. Transformation could definitely be leaving. That would be a huge transformation, obviously. Death is like rebirth. It's the ending of something, so something new can begin. So with death coming out right off the bat, I feel like that's kind of saying, yeah, you could be up for like this huge change in your life, this huge transformation. It's scary and it's hard, but it can be very much so worth it. And it's crazy because I'm from here originally, but because I lived in LA for so long, like I'm still grieving LA to this day. Like I go to bed at night and I lay down and I look at my furniture and I'm like, oh, it looks weird. like it looks weird because it's not where it's supposed to be, because it's not in the old place or whatever. Like I get really weird with that, but yeah. Yeah, the Midwest is definitely cheaper. I mean, I'm also in the suburbs of Chicago, so, and I'm like further out in the suburbs. So, you know, if I went into like the actual city of Chicago, like the further into the city you get, the more expensive it is. Like if you're, you know, like downtown Chicago in the Loop or like on the Gold Coast or something like that, like it gets crazy expensive. My cousin used to live like in downtown Chicago. She bought a studio apartment down there, and she was like paying out the nose for it. She doesn't live down there anymore, but yeah, it can get very expensive down there. But in the suburbs, it's a totally different story. Suburbs of Kansas City. Well, I'm sure Kansas City is probably even cheaper than it is here. Because Illinois is kind of known for being shady with like its politics and taxes and stuff like that, but not as shady as California, I guess. We also have the Four of Swords coming through. So the Four of Swords is about just like putting things down to rest, basically. This unicorn here has laid its fourth sword to rest. It's just kind of chilling out. So maybe one of the best ways to come about this decision, because this is a major decision, like it's a huge decision to decide to relocate anywhere. The best thing that you may need to do is just take some time to rest on this, just kind of rest and reflect. I know the Hermit card hasn't come out yet, but maybe kind of go into Hermit mode on it, pray on it, that kind of thing. But if that transformation is meant to happen, it's going to happen. I mean, it took me 2 years, a good solid 2 years to make the decision to officially move here. I was sitting back and forth on it and back and forth on it for the longest amount of time. But yeah, if it's right for you, it'll definitely come to you. And we have the Two of Swords. The Two of Swords is about being double-minded, basically. Literally what I was just talking about, like when I was in my season of indecision and I was kind of back and forth in my head about, should I stay in California or should I leave? Should I stay or should I go? Should I stay or should I go? And the problem is when we're like this, when we're double-minded like this, nothing happens. There's no decision that's made because we're kind of living with one foot here and one foot there. And we don't wind up going anywhere. So I feel like you may be kind of in this mode right now where you're just like, I don't know, I'm kind of double-minded about it. And the best way to not be double-minded anymore is to just lay down that sword and just rest. Just rest and let it come to you. Let it flow to you. And that's the other thing too. Like when I left LA, you know, I had been there for 15 years. So I kind of saw it as like look at yourself in a sense as like being a plant, because that's kind of how I saw myself. It's like if you're a plant and you're in a pot and you've been sitting there for a long time, you know, chances are your roots are pretty deep in California. You can't just like scoop yourself up out of that pot and replant yourself into another pot with your roots being that deep, or you're going to rip your roots out and you're going to wind up hurting yourself. So it's kind of like God has to come along and kind of like nudge around with the shovel and kind of nudge around at those roots and loosen them up to get you ready to transfer you into your new pot, because your roots are that deep. You know, if you had shallow roots there, it would be a different story. But the deeper the roots, the more time it's going to take to kind of dig around those roots to dig them up, so you're not hurt in the process. And that's why it took me like a good solid at least 2 years to get to this point, because it took a lot of nudging around at those roots to be just like, I don't know if I'm ready yet. And now I'm here and I'm in my new pot, I guess you could say, and it's still kind of like awkward and weird for me. Like, it's weird that there are no car chases. I can take Shadow outside to go potty at like midnight or whatever. There's no homeless people. Like, it's weird, honestly. Like, the quiet is weird. So, is World of Disney closer to you now, or Disney World? I guess Disney World would probably be closer to me, but I've never been to Disney World, funny enough. Even when I was living here, I never had been to Disney World. I went to Disneyland for the first time when I was 5, and I've kind of always just been a Disneylander ever since then. So, but I would love to go to Disney World one day. I mean, that would be amazing. So, yeah, Chicago can be pretty expensive. You're definitely thinking about the what if. We also have the Four of Pentacles. So the Four of Pentacles is about being greedy and guarded, basically. So I think it's important to not approach the situation like this. Don't approach it from like a guarded perspective, like cutting yourself off to the possibilities. It's best to just be open. That doesn't mean that you're moving officially or anything. I think a big key part of it too is if you do decide to relocate, make sure that like your heart is definitely set on it. Like, yes, like that's where I know I'm supposed to be. Like, it's one thing to just kind of have like this vague idea, like, oh, I think I'm supposed to move, but then you don't know where to go. You got to kind of know where to go too. So I feel like part of it is also figuring out like where is that place going to be? What is the place to you that speaks to you as home? If it's not California, then what is it? And we have the Three of Pentacles, which is about coming together and working together. So, it is a process. The moving process in general is a process. You have to work together with a lot of different people. You have to work together with, employers and jobs and that kind of thing, and money stuff with where you're moving to. You got to work with landlords and stuff like that with wherever you're going to apply to live. Movers, there's so many people to work with. There's so many things to work through. So it's about building a life for yourself. It's about creating a life for yourself. So there's definitely a lot of that involved. That kind of goes without saying. Let's see what else we get. And the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands is about a fiery and passionate new beginning. So, considering the first card that popped out, like I said, is the Death card here with transformation. I feel like whatever the end result is, you're going to wind up having this transformation into a fiery, fresh new beginning, something that you're passionate about, somewhere that you're passionate about. And like I said, wherever it is that you go, I think it's important that you're passionate about where you're going, that you feel like there's a purpose in where you're going. So don't just like leave California because you feel like leaving California, but leave California because you're just like, oh, I'm leaving because I know I'm supposed to go to this place. This place is where I feel passionate about. This place is where I feel like there can be a fresh new beginning. This place is where it's at. I'm going to pull some Oracle of the Unicorns since we're already kind of unicorny here. Let's just keep seeing what unicorns have to say, because unicorns are fun and good. We'll see what they have to say here. All right. Oracle of the Unicorns. What do we got here about this moving situation? If I remember right, I think you had mentioned something about Colorado before too. I'm not saying Colorado is where you need to move, but maybe that's somewhere you need to go visit. Maybe that's somewhere that has the potential to be that place. So if you feel motivated to visit somewhere, to go check it out, go check it out. If it's not the place, hey, at least you get a good vacation. All right, we have delight. Count your blessings and enjoy life. Take pleasure in simple things. Always expect the best. So that's definitely a good thing. I feel like wherever you're meant to go, you're meant to go somewhere where you feel delighted, where you feel whole, where you feel good, where your spirit just kind of, soars and flies in a sense. I think what's really interesting here is the last line says, always expect the best. And I think it's so funny because a lot of the times people will rail in on the whole thing of have no expectations, have no expectations, have no expectations. And once again, my unpopular opinion on this is have expectations. I would say don't be dependent on expectations. Don't cling to expectations. Don't make expectations the final say. But a lot of the times, if we're expecting nothing, nothing is exactly what we get. If we're expecting nothing, then it's kind of like, it's almost like it leaves it empty for negative things in a sense. So we should be expecting and anticipating good things to happen in our lives and for things to go well, basically. So yeah, expect good things, expect positive things to happen here with this. Expect those answers to come, expect peace in knowing where to go. You got to expect that. So expectations are a good thing. They only become a bad thing when we give them too much power. That's really all it is. Adventure. Dare to do things differently. Manifest your travel dreams. Move to a new location. Oh my gosh, I cannot make this up. That's so crazy. So I feel like this is kind of verifying the fact that you need to get out of your California comfort zone. So yeah, take that adventure, go explore, go on vacation to a few different areas. If they interest you, if they pique your interest, go check it out. Go, scope it out and see if this could be a potential place that you may want to move to. You may visit somewhere and absolutely fall in love with it and know in your heart of hearts that that's where you're supposed to be. And then boom, that's where you go. So yes, with that adventure card. Yes, I feel called to go there. Deep down, I've been looking at hotels and airfare. Yes, then go to Colorado for sure. Adventure to Colorado. Do it for sure. Colorado is beautiful. There are times I have thought of landing there one day myself. I know right now is not that season because my season is to be here back at home. I don't know how long this season is going to be, but one day, who knows? I may land in Colorado. My dad always had the dream to retire in Colorado. And sadly, he never made it to that dream. But maybe I'll live out that dream for him. I don't know. We'll see. Miracles. Have faith that your miracle is on its way. Your prayers have been answered. Surrender to the how. So, surrender to the how is probably the most challenging and the most difficult part for all of us. But yeah, surrender into how this is all going to work out, when this is all going to work out, where it's all going to work out. The devil's in the details. Don't worry about the details on this relocation stuff. When you'll find the right place. It'll just click. It'll work. But yeah, it'll happen. Your prayers have already been answered on that. Miracles are happening every day. You just got to take those directions to it. Yes, Breckenridge. Actually, it's funny because when I was a kid, we went to Breckenridge all the time. We have family friends that live in Breckenridge, and we would do family spring ski trips all the time there. All the time. So we would do that a lot. Breckenridge, and where else? Grand Junction, Durango, the Denver area. I know so many people in Colorado, it's not even funny. So Hello, Esha. Welcome to the live. So yeah, I'm sure I'll be back in Colorado at some point. I mean, I drove through there when I was driving back here to move and everything. I stopped and saw some of my friends who live in they live in Centennial, which is in the Denver area, and yeah, so I saw them and hung out with them for a day when I was driving back out this way, and they used to live in the same building that I did in LA, so it was good to see them. And we have leadership. Step into your leadership. Share your message. Inspire and empower others. So if you do wind up making this move, if you do wind up finding this place that you're supposed to go, I feel like it's definitely going to be an advancement in just like your own soul purpose and your own journey of what you're supposed to be doing, that you'll be stepping more so into a leadership role, that you'll have more authority in your field, in your area, in your life, and what you're supposed to be doing. So, sometimes that's the best thing we can do. Sometimes the best thing we can do for ourselves is to, take ourselves out of like our hometown and where we were originally at, because it's going to teach us so much, and we're going to experience new situations and new cultures and new people and all kinds of stuff that we probably wouldn't really understand or realize if we just stayed in the same place the entire time. Like, I know people here that have lived here their entire lives, and they do not know half the things that I do from the experiences I have had in LA. I mean, LA will open up your eyes to a lot of things that people in the suburbs of Chicago don't necessarily understand all the time. But that's okay. I don't mind being a little out of place with that. All right. Let's see. We have a Venmo that came in. I'm still in PayPal though here. Okay, PayPal's good. Let's see what we got on Venmo. All right. Seawin. I'm going to have a little sip of my frozen hot chocolate, and then we'll see what's up with Seawin. Oh, that stuff is so good. All right, next 6 months at work. We have been given a crazy deadline to get our backlog completed by the end of January 2022. Okay. Next 6 months at work. Let's see how crazy it's going to be. And I have a work-related reading I have to do for my best friend at some point tonight too, because her job is driving her crazy as well. You're very welcome, Melissa. I'm glad it helped and it resonated. And yes, book that flight to Colorado. Go to Colorado. Colorado is so beautiful. Oh my gosh. I'm sure you'll fall in love with it and you're going to be like, bye, California. All right. So we have, the Nine of Swords. What a fun start. So the Nine of Swords is anxiety, basically, which doesn't surprise me considering what you described in your question. So the Nine of Swords is sleepless nights, anxiety. I feel like these next 6 months, getting through January of 2020, is going to be a challenge. It's not going to be easy. Unfortunately, you're probably going to have some anxiety. There are probably going to be nights where you're going to be losing sleep. It's not going to be a fun time. So, great way to kick it off. Yeah, it's definitely that feel like crying kind of energy. I mean, look at this unicorn. This unicorn is like literally crying on its pillow. Like, I just want to hug that unicorn because I'm like, oh, this is so sad. But let's see what else besides anxiety. Hopefully we got some light here at the end of the tunnel. Yes, you will. That just might happen. Love the mountains. Yes, the mountains are awesome for sure. And we also have the Nine of Wands. It just gets better and better. So the Nine of Wands is the wounded warrior, basically. You know, he's someone who has been through the battle. He's seen it all. He's been through the war. But the good thing is he keeps fighting. He keeps fighting the good fight of faith. He keeps going. He doesn't stop. He doesn't give up, even though he's been burned, he's been injured, he's been kicked, he's been, you know, messed with and everything. He keeps going. So I feel like this is basically going to be you over the next 6 months. It's going to be hard because there's going to be a lot of that anxiety. You're going to feel hurt. You're going to feel like you want to give up. But you have this resilience inside of you, and you have this strength inside of you that is going to keep you going, that you are going to keep moving. I feel like there's going to be this reminder inside of you where it's just like, just keep going until January 2022. I just have to make it through January 2022. If I can get through January 2022, I'm going to be okay. So, you know, you may be kind of thinking that a lot during the process, but let's see what else we have. And we have the Knight of Wands. So I do feel like there's going to be moments where you're going to be inspired to move forward in spurts, in a sense, because, you know, the Knight of Wands, he usually comes in with that passion and that drive and that energy. You know, he obviously moves swiftly and quickly here because, you know, his mane is kind of like flying in the wind and stuff. So I feel like there are going to be times at work where you are going to have bursts of energy. It's not going to be nothing but all the sleepless nights and all the, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm going to die kind of thing. It's not going to be all that. There are going to be moments where you're going to have spurts of energy and you're going to feel passionate and driven, and you're just going to press through. But I feel like they're going to be short-lived because that's kind of how the Knight of Wands is. You know, usually like in a love reading, he comes in and out and in and out and in and out. And it's like your energy with work may be the same way. It may go in and out and in and out and in and out. So there may be times where you're going to be like, yes, I can do this. I'm going to push through. Like I have the energy. But then there are going to be times where it just kind of dies out. And it's like, and we're back to anxiety and stress and not so fun stuff. So I don't know if there's necessarily going to be like moments where you find rest maybe randomly, or something like encourages you or inspires you and uplifts you to give you those pushes. But those energetic bumps are going to be there where it's going to push you over to keep going. Elizabeth, I ended up getting a chocolate milkshake from McDonald's inspired by your Dunkin' Donuts drink. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, those are good too. So, hey, whatever works, you know. I hope, because I feel guilty taking the time off now. Well, it sounds like you're probably going to need the time off right now. So if you're taking the time off right now to kind of like rest and recharge and reboot your energy, I feel like you need that. You're going to need that. We also have the Four of Cups here, which I feel like in a sense is kind of reflective of the energy that you just mentioned, feeling guilty about taking time off right now. It's like, you know, you're being offered this cup of taking time off basically, but you're kind of being stubborn about accepting that and receiving that. When, if anything, it's probably what you need the most right now, because that rest and relaxation is going to help energize you to get through everything else that's coming up for you over the next few months at work. So don't worry so much about what's going on down here, because I feel like these 3 cups is basically like all the busyness and all the insanity at work. Don't worry about that. That's still going to be there when you get back. That's still going to be there after you're done taking your time off. Like, they're not going to magically fix everything with you being gone temporarily. It'll still be there. So don't be stubborn about accepting help or time off or any of that stuff, because you're going to need it. You're definitely going to need it. And we have the Five of Pentacles, and that's just another reason why you're going to need it, because there may be times over the next few months where it's kind of like that poverty mindset in a sense when you're at work, where it's almost going to feel like feast or famine, where you're just going to be like work, but then you're going to kind of feel like you're not getting very much out of it in a sense, where it's just like you're kind of in starvation mode in terms, not in terms of like your pay, obviously, or anything like that, but just in terms of your energy. It's like your energy is just going to be dragged down. So, it's going to be really important to be mindful of this, to make sure that you do get proper rest, to make sure that you do take care of yourself, to make sure that you are fully taking advantage of the opportunities to take time off like you are right now, and times when you can. Because feast or famine, not good, not fun. Hi, Tatiana. Welcome to the live. And we have the King of Cups. So the King of Cups, I feel like maybe this would be your boss in this scenario, since it's, a work thing. So the King of Cups is someone, who is usually filled with a lot of emotion. In a love reading, he's usually filled with a lot of love, but he kind of holds it back. So in the situation with your work scenario, it could be your superior, your boss, whoever is above you, who would be in that like king kind of position. They could have like a lot of emotions about everything going on. They could be highly emotional themselves about it, but they may not necessarily like express and share their own frustrations in a sense. So there may be some awkwardness in exchanges with your boss in a sense, just with that. My boss, she's a dear. I'm thankful to have her. Well, in the reading, she's coming across as a king, I think, just because, I think this is representing just like her authority in it, obviously. But I do feel like it's probably going to be overwhelming for her too. Like, especially considering with the emotions here. And she is a woman, obviously. So she's probably going to take this probably a little bit more emotionally than a male boss may. So I feel like it's going to be emotionally overwhelming for her too. She may not necessarily always say it is, just because I feel like she may want to put on like a brave face for you guys. But I feel like it's going to be challenging and difficult for her too. So it's not like you're going to be alone in it. It's going to be kind of like a whole team situation where everybody is going to be feeling the effects of it. Very similar to like what my best friend is going through right now. She works for Wayfair, and she's not happy with some things happening there, but she's pushing through it. And we have the Tower. So I feel like if anything, like this is going to be a time where it's just going to shake things up. It's going to shake things up with things going on, in your work environment right now. That doesn't mean that things are going to end badly or things are going to end horribly or anything like that. But I feel like just your work environment right now as a whole, it's going to be tricky. It's going to be shaky. It's just going to be shaking up that foundation. And probably after January is when things will get better and when there's going to be some stability coming in. But it is going to be a challenge. It's not going to be easy. You're going to have to like really buckle in there. And I would say try to stay as grounded as possible. Grounded, get proper rest. Try not to bring work home with you in a sense. Try to leave it there rather than to, take it home. And we have the Hanged Unicorn. So in a lot of ways, you're just going to kind of be like hanging out, kind of waiting for this whole thing to get through the process in a sense, because in a way you kind of have no choice but to do that. That this is something that is going to be happening from here throughout the end of the year. And it's kind of like you just kind of have to hang out and grin and bear it. But I feel like there's going to be changes and transformations happening within you and within others around you while you're at work. It's going to be a challenging time. That's for sure. But I feel like you guys are going to get through it. So you're working from home. Well, even if you're working from home, I mean, it doesn't matter. It can still put a lot of stress on you. Like I said, my best friend, she works for Wayfair. She works from home too, but she's been undergoing some very similar stuff in a sense with work related stress. So at home or through the computer, doesn't matter. It's it's all energy. It's all connected. Most federal employees are still at home. All right, then. Well, that can definitely be very daunting and stressful. So you have to set boundaries for work-life balance. Yeah, that's a huge part of it. Like I said, try not to take it home with you. Like, I know you're working from home, but it's like, once you're done with your day though, and you're like, all right, I've done my last thing, I'm clocking myself out basically for the day. I'm going to go make dinner. I'm going to go do whatever else. Then make it about that. Don't mentally continue to carry on with you. So I think that's more so what it's about. But hopefully that helps. I wish that it was like better news for the work thing. I do feel like it's going to be a challenge over the next few months, but you'll get through it though. You'll get through it. So what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. By the time like February next year hits, you're going to be like, oh, finally, relief, a break. So you're very welcome. All right, let me check here with Venmo and PayPal. I think we're pretty much caught up with everybody, though. Yes, we are. We are indeed. Okay. Well, with that, I think I'm just going to sign off here and head on out. Before I do, I'll just pull a couple cards here from the Psychic Tarot of the Heart, just so we kind of have like a little general message for ourselves here for, the next few days, the rest of the week, what we need to know. Oh, and there goes my air conditioner. It's dying on me now. My portable one. It's saying, yeah, it's time to wrap this up. Okay, let's see what we got here. We've got heal. So make sure that you're taking care of yourself this week and you're doing any necessary healing that needs to be done. That kind of goes without saying. So that's always very important. Take time to heal during the week. Take time for yourself. We have helpless and hopelessness. So if you do encounter any points in time during the week where you do feel helpless or hopeless or just down in general, try not to stay there. Make sure that you're working on healing whatever it is inside of you that is dragging you down, because this is not what you are supposed to be in your natural state. Life is meant to be enjoyed. It's meant to be lived and loved and, all those good things. We shouldn't be going around feeling helpless and hopeless. So if you do feel like that at some point this week, check to see what the source is and look into healing that. And we have control that popped out. So sometimes we can feel helpless and hopeless because we feel like we don't have control in our lives, is what it comes down to. We just feel like we don't have control. So try not to control situations during the week, especially if they're things that are out of your hands. It's one thing for us to do the things that we can do something about that are within our control. But if it's out of your control, just leave it be, let it be, walk away, let God do his thing. That's the most important thing. Let me get one more here. And we have clarity of belief. So, the week may be a bit of a journey, a little bit of ups and downs or whatever, but at the end of it all, you will always be clear on your beliefs and what you need to know and what you need to understand, especially if it's stuff that you do need to heal. So, ups and downs, that's life. That happens whether it's during the week or other things happening in our lives. So, anyway, I'm going to wrap this up because I've been on for about 2 hours and almost 45 minutes. So, I'm going to wrap this up and chill out and do some other things. But thank you guys for hanging in there and hanging out with me. And I should be back on Friday. So I will see you later. Mwah! Keep sparkling.